I'm checking out a band named Resolve. I don't know who they are, but there's a song called Older Days featuring 1056 and Paleface Swiss. I don't know who any of these people are. Who is Resolve? I got some metal fans and rock fans in my community, in my subscriber group. It's a French metalcore band. Resolve is a French metalcore band formed in 2016 in Lyon, known for its melodic yet heavy sound, technical precision, and high energy performances. Okay. Shout out today goes to Rob. Thank you for this suggestion. I'm on the metalcore train right now. I just got done listening to Wage War, the song called Manic. Now we've got some more metalcore going on. This one's called Older Days. Let's see what this is about. Have you seen this? Do you know of Resolve or any of these bands that are featured here? Go check out A Rising Empire and Resolve. Make sure to subscribe here too. And as always, guys, a great way to support your favorite YouTubers and reaction communities is when you let these artists and music labels know who sent you, especially if you're new to the band or if you've rediscovered them or you're out there on their channels listening to them because of this reaction. Letting them know is a great way of showing the world that there are reaction channels and YouTube channels out here that are here to support, to promote artists, and to add intellectual property and commentary, to use fair use the way that fair use was intended to be used, and that we're here to support, not steal. So that's always a good way you can support us. And also check out our own stuff, my educational videos, documentaries, my own songs. That's also a great way for you to support me as the person that I am, the expert and professional that I am. But today, we're going to check this one out together. Let's see what we can pull out of this one. Are you ready? Here we go.
Take me back to all the days, 'cause I'm afraid I'll never be the same. Here's my love letter to all within. Yo, what's up? This is Resolve all the days. This is something from Paleface Swiss, motherfucker. Here from 1056, listen up. Why do I feel so alone when I'm out of sea?
I'm going to pause just for a second, just for copyright reasons and because I want to pull up these lyrics. So it looks like guy with the hat is 1056. Is that right? Or was that the blonde? And then Paleface Swiss, the other dude. And I'm assuming this guy over here who was just singing is Resolve. Am I getting that right? Interesting. French metalcore, huh? And I don't know where 1056 or Paleface Swiss are from. Is he Swiss? I don't know. Don't judge me. I'm learning. I'm here to learn. But I do want to pull up these lyrics because I don't know what in the unicorn farts they're singing. I understand some of it, but then some of the growls and screams make it hard to decipher. Take me back to older days. I guess I'm going to listen to the whole thing and then we'll analyze the lyrics. Take me back to older days, huh? Back in the day, take me back.
Gotta tell you something. This honest to myself. She's a little bit of something. Slowly run the block. Like I'm still I'm afraid of dying. Yet I'm afraid to leave. Scared of the dark, but I thrive in the darkest places.
Okay, that was crazy. That's impressive. The ba-da-ba! I can't do it like they do. I was at a Skillet concert with my daughter the other day. I still got to create a video for you guys about that one. It was amazing. And my daughter was asking me how they can keep screaming like that without, what did they say? Without, I don't remember. She was asking about the level of loudness and the screaming. And I told her you have to do that right. And you have to have a certain way of screaming in order to not ruin your voice. And I'm always impressed when people can growl and scream that way without destroying their voice. But this was impressive, the way that he switched. I can't do it, as you can see, from his singing voice to that scream. That was impressive. I do have to laugh because my husband and I were just talking the other day about how people are animals. We're just animals in a way. Everyone in a different way, but people remind me of different animals. You got your lions out there, the rabbits, the foxes. in regards to how we behave and the things we prioritize and the way we operate. I see parallels to nature and to animals. I think we're much more part of the ecosystem than we realize, not above it, but just a part of it. Anyways, I'm getting way off topic, but as they're screaming right here, it just makes me think of like a bunch of dogs, a bunch of pit bulls, and they're just taking turns. And I'm not saying that to make fun. I'm saying that more because it's just interesting. I think this is a very unique way of setting up a music video or the official vocal performance, of having them all in a circle and it just playing off of each other. But the screams, the growls are crazy. The fast-paced rapping is nuts.
Take me back to all the days, 'cause I'm afraid I'll never be the same. Linger on nothing, dust in the wind. Still it's all remains the same. It's bittersweet how I can seem to change. Here's my love letter, the evil within.
Whoop. What? This is crazy though. Their skills of screaming and growling are nuts to me. That's really impressive. I do have to say.
Something's taking over me, shaking and high. Not enough from me, this body for both you and I. Between day and night, always bleeding half. Hiding in the shadows so I can be found. Take me back to all the days, 'cause I'm afraid I'll never be the same. Linger on nothing, dust in the wind. Still it's all remains the same. It's bittersweet how I can seem to change. Here's my love letter to the evil within. There's no dawn without death. No breath without death. Peace without life. There's no me without you.
Yeah, this is actually pretty cool.
Nothing can change my mind, so take me back now. With my nation, but you get to me, don't touch it. Bring back right now. Now the kept alive is parasites. Let's be shot of a bitter light. Something help, live up the voice. Take me back to all the days, 'cause I'm afraid I'll never be the same. Here's my love letter, dear evil within.
Okay, that was actually pretty cool. That was pretty cool. It took me a second to get warmed up to it, if you could tell, just because I was trying to make sense of all of this. But you got to appreciate when someone really knows how to scream. 1056 is a French deathcore band as well. So it looks like vocalist Aaron Matz. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find some of these people. Aaron Matz from 1056 was this dude. Okay, is this guy. And he was, let me go back to real quick. He was this guy, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's 1056. And he had that really deep, low growl. Crazy screams, but he often brought in those lower notes and just that full growl, which was crazy. And then I think blonde dude was Pale Face Swiss. His screams were crazy too, and I feel like it was more on a thinner, higher end, and that's why they complemented each other so well. You had those low notes, you had the shrill, I don't know if that's an English word, shrill, wenn jemand shrill schreit. The German is coming out, bear with me. And then you had resolve and just the way that he was able to switch from his singing voice to the scream, all of them complementing each other really well. But this was growing on me. At first, I'm like, okay, what's happening here? I'm picturing three dogs just aggressively barking against each other. Well aware that screaming like this takes a lot of skill, don't get me wrong. But then the more that I'm hearing the lyrics and that they're playing off of each other, I am starting to understand that I'm digging this. So it was Aaron Matz and Zelly singing. They keep saying brighter days are coming, although the mist is getting thicker and thicker. I've been fading away. I'm effing 33, still going through changes and getting lost in the process and getting lost in my fears. I love the honesty of this, and I love from a psychological level, because that's what you guys know we're about. The existential questions here. You have a person in their mid-30s going, what the heck am I doing? I thought things were going to get clearer. They say brighter days are coming. They say one day it'll make more sense. But the mist is getting thicker. I can see less and less clear. Where is this brightness and better days that I'm supposed to be finding? I'm going through changes, lost in the process, lost in my fears. And then that call and response play, or the way that they're engaging with one another, was so fitting. Your feelings aside, I like the fact that it was 3 of them, by the way, because so we're speaking of existential fears and life and death and meaning of life and trying to make sense of things. And the number 3 we find a lot of times in various religion and in geometry. And it's this fitting number for the image of a triangle, but also this image of body, mind, spirit. You could take it different ways. And I just love how they're on this journey throughout the song of trying to understand and make sense of life. Because I've made another your feelings aside, I've made another bargain with the devil that's in my mind. And I feel like on one hand, it was the emotional part saying, I'm lost, what the heck? Now it's maybe the brain saying, your feelings aside, I've made another bargain with the devil in my mind. Now we're looking at mental health and the thoughts we think. He tells me life down here could be so beautiful. Now we're talking also about temptations in life, trying to make sense of life, that battle for your soul, perhaps. I'm feeling the high, I'm feeling the heat. What is this? The heat of hell? Because the devil is saying, it's beautiful down here. Come and join me. Sell your soul, right? What is this about? I see a human being who is going through life trying to make sense of it. And saying, you told me life's going to get better. The fog is getting thicker. The devil's over here in my ear. That little angel and demon on my shoulders. I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to listen to. Hell and the devil and making deals sounds kind of intriguing. I'm feeling the high. I'm feeling the heat. Is this also a conversation about, as an artist, feeling the fame, experiencing those things? This is where I've always wanted to be. Let's sink. All right. What does that mean? Am I willing to trade my soul for all the riches of the world and the fame? That's what I wanted, right? But in order to get there, I have to sink. I have to join the devil down there in the heat and in the hell, perhaps. And then in the refrain, the chorus, Anthony and Aaron sing, "Take me back to older days, because I'm afraid I'll never be the same. Here's my love letter, dear evil within. Why do I feel so low when I'm out at sea?" And this is interesting because now I'm seeing a conversation between that part of us, our conscience, our spirit, perhaps our soul, that's still trying to make sense, but also that part of us that's unsure if we should or shouldn't make a deal with the devil, if there's a way to escape death, to escape entropy and decay and gravity and get back to those older days, those younger days when we didn't think about death much, when the world was at our feet and we thought everything was still possible. Now we're at a place of being afraid I'll never be the same. At first we spoke about going through changes. Now we're realizing, and this is very human and very, very healthy, very normal. When you reach your 30s and 40s, you're no longer in your childhood. You're no longer in your adolescent years of the innocence and the nativity. You're a full-blown adult now going, I'm afraid I'll never be the same. I'm afraid I keep changing and I can never go back. And that is, from a psychological standpoint, existential fears at the core. Thinking of death, thinking of loss, thinking of changing and the meaning of life. What's the point of all this? Dishonest to myself, designer of my own coffin, strolling around the block like I know what I'm doing. Still not afraid of dying, yet I'm afraid to live. And this is crazy. I love the honesty here. It's not so much the fear of death. It's afraid to live. It's the uncertainty of existence. And I appreciate that because sometimes when you talk about life and death, some people's response might be, I'm not afraid to die. I'm going to go to heaven, or I don't believe there's anything after. It just is, or whatnot. And some people really don't worry about death so much. But if you were to ask them what they think the point of life is, I think deep down many people are afraid to live, to truly live. Just like, and I don't remember who said this, but just like that quote goes, we're not so much afraid of failing, but we're afraid that we might be more powerful than we realize. We're afraid of the opposite, what actually could be if we dare to dream. At the deepest of my heart, I know I went too far. It's a one way now. There's no turning back. No longer the man I was, taking off the mask, acting like a wolf, but I'm just a rat. Here may be a conversation about a man, a young boy becoming a man, struggling with imposter syndrome. wanting to reach fame or status or being somebody, making sense of this world, but afraid to truly live. And yet at the same time realizing you can't go back. Take me back to older days. I'm afraid I'll never be the same. That chorus repeats. And then it says, why do I feel so low when I'm out at sea? And earlier it said, it also said the same thing. Why do I feel so low when I'm out at sea? Why am I lost when I'm out there? Hold on, I lost my point. Linger on nothing, dust in the wind. Still the song remains the same. It's bittersweet now. It's bittersweet how I can't seem to change. Here's my love letter, dear evil within. Also maybe a conversation about that struggle between doing right and what's wrong. And trying to make peace with the fact that everything is both and, that we are human. We have our good sides, we have our bad sides. We're trying to, like Ren and High Ren in his conversation about that pendulum, trying to love all of you perhaps, that evil within. What does that mean? What does it look like to love that evil within? Does that mean we accept all the bad choices and we accept the parts of us that do wrong and we just excuse it? Oh, that's fine. I can go ahead and lie and steal and kill and cheat. Or is it a conversation about accepting oneself and understanding that on one hand, you're going to change, like it said in the beginning. You're going to go through changes. You're never going to be the same. And later on, however, that contrast and saying, it's bittersweet how I can't seem to change. On one hand, we're going through changes and we're in our age now, in our life where things are not going to be the same. I long for those older days. And at the same time, there's a part of us saying, I can't change. I keep making mistakes. I keep doing evil things. What is this a conversation about? I see a lot of duality. I see a lot of conversation between life and death and existence and questions and getting older. And then it says, non-existent, this effing feeling is so inconsistent. Breaking down, though I'm persistent. I'm so over me. Effing say mistakes, no empathy. Why is it like this? Whole life crisis. Not a midlife crisis, a whole life crisis. Put me underground because I'm dead. There's no dawn without dusk. Something's taking over me, Jekyll and Hyde. Not enough room in this body for both you and I. Always split in half. I wonder also if this is someone, it could be a conversation about mental health or personality disorders, split personality disorder, or people that struggle with depressive and manic episodes. It could be someone who is really struggling with trying to make sense of this world and is ping-ponging back and forth between change and between feeling like they're not changing and making the same mistakes again and again, or addiction perhaps, falling back into old patterns and tendencies. I'm afraid I'll never be the same. Linger on nothing, dust in the wind. Still the song remains the same. It's bittersweet how I can't seem to change. So on one hand, there's a fear of change, and on one hand, we can't change, and that's maybe what makes it bittersweet. There's no dawn without dusk, no birth without death, peace without war. There's no me without you. And at first, when I heard them say no me without you, I was thinking of a relationship with someone else. But then I'm thinking maybe there is also, this is him speaking to himself, right? There's no me without you. There's no me without the bad parts of me and the good parts of me. There's no me without the change and the not changing. It's all, I just am. Life and death, birth and death, peace and war. It's perhaps addressing a lot of the duality. Take me back now. No one is able to get me, so just take me back right now. Brain dead insect, barely kept alive by its parasite. Wow. Makes me wish I'd never been alive. Saw me in half, rip off the vice. Take me back. Take me back to the older days because I'm afraid I'll never be the same. Here's my love letter, dear evil within. This is very interesting. Because if it's a conversation from a spiritual standpoint about the devil and the angel on our shoulders, it speaks of the devil in the beginning. Is the conclusion here, I just need to accept that both of those sides? Is this someone struggling with mental health, manic and depressive episodes, and surrendering to that? Brain dead insect, barely kept alive by its parasite. A deep depression here if you get to a point where you wish you'd never been alive. Saw me in half, ripped off the vice. Take me back to older days. What was happening during those older days? Was this person in the older days unaware of the evil and aware of that struggle? Or the fact that they were or weren't changing and therefore had peace? Or were they not evil in those older days? It's very interesting. I could see this song being a conversation about all of the above that I just mentioned. And what is the takeaway? I have this tendency that I want to add or end on some type of topic of hope, of resolution, of peace. But perhaps music being art, there is a time and a place for art to leave us with the question mark, to leave us with no finite resolution. Well, here's the answer. This is how you can get rid of the evil, or this is what you should or shouldn't do, or this is how you can change or not change. What does this song mean to you? What is your takeaway? Is this perhaps, can art itself or a song like this itself be part of the comfort for someone who struggles with manic and depressive episodes? Could the art itself, even though it doesn't have answers or hope presented in and of itself per se, could singing about it in itself be part of the hope, part of the antidote, that there is some type of creative outlet? Maybe it's not that you end a chorus on a happy note and hope and how here you should go to therapy and this is how you can deal with medications you can take for your bipolar or your borderline disorder, or here's what you can do if you're struggling with that evil within, or here's how you should rebuke it, or right, we want answers. Religion will tell you one way or the other to handle that evil or what not to do or to do when it comes to the devil and those temptations. Another philosophy of life may tell you what you should do. Therapy will teach you another. Could it be that sometimes just having a song about the problem itself is part of the solution? Not having a solution within the song, but simply a platform, a place where we can talk about it honestly and openly. The darkness, the struggle, that plead for life and a longing to live, and understanding that it's all connected. Peace and war, life and death. Very interesting song, and it's fascinating to me that in metalcore and with songs like this, where there's just mostly screaming, there's still such depth in the lyrics. It is really not just people barking at each other or screaming. It is profound lyrics and deep psychological songwriting. Very interesting suggestion. Thank you for this suggestion, Rob. What are your thoughts on this? Make sure to subscribe, you guys, and I will see you on the next ride. Ayo!